Hey, what is up? This is Sufi the Coolest here, and today I'm gonna be reacting to Riddle. Now it's a now it's a YouTube channel in which it promotes lots of science stuff. You guys should watch this. So we're gonna be reacting to a galaxy inside a galaxy. How is this possible? Well, I don't know. I guess the way to find it is just once, right?
Did you know that the Russian Matryoshka doll has its own analog in space? In 1950, astronomer Arthur Hogue discovered one of the rarest objects in the universe. If you stare closely into this galaxy, you'll notice another galaxy inside, and then another one. Where in space can you find this amazing nesting doll? Is there more than one? And how are they even formed? Hogue's object, as it is known, was named after the discoverer of this unique galaxy. At first, Hogue's object was taken for the remainder of a supernova explosion in our galaxy. But then after studying its radiation, it turned out that Hogue's object is more than 600 million light years from Earth. The diameter of our galaxy reaches only 105,700 light years. This means that Hogue's object certainly could not be within the Milky Way. Arthur Hogue suggested that the ring around the cluster of stars is light distorted by gravitational lensing coming from some distant object. Yet, in reality, Hogue's object turned out to be one of the rarest objects in the universe, a ring galaxy. They make up only 0.1% of all galaxies. The central galaxy is surrounded by another ring-like galaxy. And in the space between the two galaxies, there's yet another galaxy. It turns out that you have a galaxy inside of a galaxy, and then both of these galaxies are inside of a third galaxy. The diameter of the core of this structure, that is, the galaxy's center, is approximately 17,000 light years across. The inner part of the ring is 80,000 light years, and the outer is about 127,000 light years. The most important question is, how can one galaxy be inside of another? Scientists have several theories in regards to this question. According to the first theory, a galaxy could be passing through the center of another large and flat galaxy. It looks something like a bullet struck in a target. In this case, the stars of the target galaxy will be attracted to the stars of the bullet galaxy. Then, as the bullet flies through, some of the stars of the bullet galaxy merge with the stars of the target galaxy. Still, some other stars fly from the center to the outskirts due to the collision. As a result, a ring with a core inside forms. A similar hypothesis explains many other ring-shaped galaxies, such as the Cartwheel Galaxy. In this case, indeed, the scientists managed to make out the collision of the sleeve with the bullet. However, such an explanation is not very suitable for Hogue's object. There are no signs of collision with other galaxies. In addition, if the bullet galaxy really flew by, it would have needed to perfectly hit the bullseye in order to achieve such exact symmetry. According to the second theory, Hogue's object was supposed to be formed due to the destruction of two satellite galaxies. In this case, one galaxy becomes the nucleus, and the other galaxy would become the ring around it. Such a series of events may explain the difference in color of the core and the ring, since their origin is also different. If this is true, there should have been traces of tidal tails, elongated filaments from interstellar gas, and individual stars dragging behind the galaxy. However, all the tails could have been scattered over the course of 2 billion years. Perhaps the remains of those tails turned into rare clusters of stars inside of the empty gap of Hogue's object. There's also a third theory. It states that Hogue's object originally was a barred spiral galaxy. The bar consists of bright stars emerging from the center and crossing the galaxy in the middle. Unlike ordinary spiral galaxies, in these galaxies, the branches of the spiral don't come from the core of the galaxy, but from the bar. It's likely that the bridge in one of these galaxies connecting the arms to the core collapsed. After this, only the core and two sleeves remained, which then curled into a ring. However, this theory has some drawbacks. The core of the spiral galaxy should be flat, and the core of Hoax object is convex. Moreover, this hypothesis cannot explain the differences in the color of the core and the ring. The answer to this riddle should be sought at the atomic level. The traces of molecular hydrogen are the key in helping scientists to see which one of the theories is true. If you scale down from the galactic level to at least the level of planetary systems, you can find even more amazing nesting dolls. For example, the star Kepler-70. Once this star was like our sun. Then, about 20 million years ago, it increased in volume and turned into a red giant. After the star went through the stage of the red giant and dropped its shell, it was revealed that two planets were hiding within it. Scientists assumed that for millions of years, the planets were inside the star and remained relatively intact. At the time of the discovery, the planets Kepler-70b and Kepler-70c had 76% and 87% of the mass of the Earth, and they looked more like the core of Jupiter than independent planets. It turned out later that, in fact, both of the planets were parts of the same gas giant. When the star turned into a red giant, it tore the gas shell from the planet. Then the core of the gas giant broke into several parts, which at first astronomers took to be two separate planets. A similar example can be seen in another stellar system. In the Microscopium constellation, an exoplanet discovered there is too close to the star.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, that was...
Star HD 203949. Given that the star was much larger during the red giant stage, it would have had to absorb the planet several times, or perhaps earlier, the planet was much farther from its star. After the star threw off its entire stellar envelope and decreased in size, the planet moved closer due to tidal forces. Another hypothesis states that perhaps the star hasn't yet reached the red giant stage. Therefore, a nearby planet awaits destruction in the near future. Planets surviving inside of stars is an incredibly rare occurrence. Yet, stars inside of other stars can occur much more often. A similar theory was put forward in 1975 by astronomers Kip Thorne and Anna N. Zeitkow. According to their assumptions, neutron stars can be absorbed by red giants in a collision. For a long time, this was only a theory, but in 2014, astronomers found a real star inside of another star. HV 2112 is located 200,000 light years from Earth in the small Magellanic Cloud. This is the first likely candidate to be a Thorne-Zeitkow object in history.
Wait. Don't...
1,000 light years from Earth in the small Magellanic Cloud. This is the first likely candidate to be a Thorne-Zeitkow object.
Thorne-Zeitkow object. Okay. I don't know what that means, so comment down to comment the definition for this Thorne-Zeitkow object.
History. The debate about this star continues, since one of the latest studies refutes it belonging to the objects of Thorne-Zeitkow. One can also find some objects inside of others in the solar system. Our planet is proof of it. Unusual objects were found inside the meteorite LAP-02342, which fell to the Earth in the region of the South Pole. The strange objects were dark in color and were only 0.1 millimeters or 0.004 inches in size. The chemical composition of the fragment included atypical forms of molecular oxygen, as well as nitrogen and deuterium, or heavy hydrogen. A similar chemical composition wasn't found on any of the bodies that have fallen to Earth. However, in space, this chemical cocktail is quite easily detected inside comets. It turns out that the discovered object is the nucleus of a comet sealed in a meteorite. In fact, comets differ from meteorites only in their place of origin, and hence in chemical composition. Meteorites are any space objects that ended up on Earth. Almost always, fragments of asteroids that fall to Earth come from the asteroid belt. Fortunately, comets have never fallen to Earth. Most of the comets, with rare exceptions, wander deep into the solar system from the Kuiper Belt. For example, the first and so far the only interstellar comet was recorded just in 2019. Apparently, a comet fragment fell inside of an asteroid 3 million years after the birth of the sun, when other objects, including asteroids and comets, began to form around our star. Some of them collided and collapsed, while others, like a unique meteorite, merged into one. This successful find allowed scientists for the first time to study in detail the chemical composition of a comet without leaving the Earth. How many more similar caches has the universe prepared for us? What kind of surprises can be hidden in them? Let us know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Click on the bell to receive timely notifications of new interesting videos that are waiting for you ahead. Until next time.
Alright, guys. That is the end of my first video. Yep, you heard it. The end of my first video. So make sure to subscribe and post that like and hit that like button, because I'm kind of thinking of what video I'm gonna post during this corona stuff happening. I mean the coronavirus outbreak. Okay, that is all. Hasta la vista.